Hello, this is Icestationzero. Back for my Sega Dreamcast Collection video. Hope you enjoy. So here it is. It's my Sega Dreamcast console. As you can see, it has 4 controller ports. Open switch opens up the disc tray. Power button. It has a modem in the back here. It's one of the first. It was actually the second console to have a modem built in. Second home console to do that. The first was the Philips CDI, I believe. So you got the typical plugs here, the AC adapter, and the AV out. Here's the controller. I have 2 of them, and as you can see, it's pretty original looking. It has the joystick, D-pad, 4 buttons, start button, 2 shoulder buttons, and right here is 2 slots for memory cards, which I have right here. I have 2 memory cards. One's blue, one's white. And when the battery's working, you can turn it on and you can save your game by, plugging the memory card into the controller like that. And it holds 2, so you can take the top off it, slide it in, and it holds 2 memory cards at one time. Don't know why you would need 2 memory cards at one time, but it does that. And what I was saying is you can save your game onto here. And one cool thing is when the memory card's in the controller slot, it provides a little monitor TV screen type thing right here. And what it usually does is, say you're playing Soul Calibur, put up a little Soul Calibur graphic right there. Or say you're playing as Taki, it'll put up a picture of Taki, I think, or something like that. I think it does that for Nightmare. That's who I usually play as. So if I'm wrong, don't get mad. I don't know, I might just be making things up. But yeah, so you save your game, and then you can unplug it, and the battery's dead in it right now, but you turn it on, and has a D-pad, and an A and B button, a sleep button, and a mode button, and you can take little mini games with you. And also you can transfer your saved data to different controllers. So that is that. Just a little bit about the Dreamcast. Came out on September 9th, 1999. Yes, 99.99. I got one for Christmas that year, Christmas '99. My brother actually got it, and then in several subsequent years, he doesn't really play video games anymore, so he gave it to me, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't still have the original box for it, which I'm going to get off eBay once after I get some games that I want to get for other systems. It's on the list, though, to get. So it sold really well at launch. It was very popular. It had a big marketing campaign. Many hailed it as Sega's comeback after the failed 32X and the failed Saturn. It had a modem, had a lot of great launch titles, had a lot of great games come out afterwards. And it was really popular, and it showed a lot of promise. Unfortunately, a lot of people were disillusioned with Sega due to years of bad decisions, poorly made decisions, releasing consoles too close together, and not supporting their consoles with a good library of games. So that pissed a lot of people off, and a lot of people gave up on Sega. But the main killer of the Sega Dreamcast, as you all know, is the PlayStation 2 coming out a year later. It had a DVD player, had better graphics, had an equally good launch lineup, and basically killed the Sega Dreamcast. So it's not personally one of my favorite systems. The games, while good, there are some great games. I haven't played all the good ones. I don't own all the good ones, but the ones I do are pretty cool. But so the graphics, while they're not bad, they're just not they're not what I'm used to. I'm used to more, I'm used to Nintendo graphics, which are like this N64, which was out right before this, had like a more natural, earthly feel to them. These feel very glossy on the Dreamcast. So it's hard to explain, but that's just how I feel. And a lot of my favorite games are on other systems, but I'll get into the games that I do have. There are some ones that I do like that I have. So yeah, I think by like 2001, the Sega Dreamcast production was halted, and in America and Europe, anyways. In Japan, it went on until like 2007 or something like that. But so it ended up being Sega's last console. They bowed out of the market. Now they're just a publisher of Sonic games and other IPs that they have. Anything else here? Nope, that's it. So let's move on to games. Okay, here, got the games, my Sega Dreamcast Collection here, ready to go. See, I have 10 games for it. First one up, Soul Calibur. Great fighting game. Discovered the series with Soul Calibur 2 on PlayStation 2. Fell in love with the game. Loved how it's a weapons-based fighter. Loved the story and the time period and the music, and the controls are really easy to get used to, and it was just a great game. So I had to check out the original, which was a huge title on the Dreamcast. And I had a Dreamcast, and I didn't know about it. Know about this game at the time. So once I heard that the original was on there, I had to go out and get it. So it's a great game, and I highly recommend it. Cell phone's ringing. Sorry about that. You'll have to wait. Next up is Resident Evil Code Veronica. It's a survival horror game. Not my favorite game. It got really good reviews. A lot of people like it, so I thought I'd check it out. But I've never really played many Resident Evil games. Haven't played the original. I think I played 2 on N64 for like a little bit at my friend's house back in the day. Not bad. It's just not my favorite. I really don't like the controls. They're called tank controls, where you like press up to move and you rotate the joystick to position your character, and then you have to like, I don't like how you have to I forget how you save in the game. It's like you have to collect certain items, or you get to a typewriter or something like that to save. I wish you could save at any time, and I don't like how you run out of ammo. It's just not my type of game. I didn't get very far into it, but it's pretty cool, I guess. Next up is Dead or Alive 2. Just a nice 3D fighter. Graphics are really good. A lot of hot babes. That's about all I can say about the Dead or Alive series. Hot babes. Next is Crazy Taxi. This is one of my first Dreamcast games I got. It's one of the reasons I wanted to get a Dreamcast. Me and my brother wanted one back in the day. And it's a fun game. It gets old after a while, you know, just driving around the same location, doing the same thing, you know, picking people up and taking them to their destination with the same, like, 3 Offspring and 2 Bad Religion songs playing over and over again. But it's a fun game, and there's some mini games in there that I tried out, and it's a good arcade game, really good. I'm glad I own it. Next is Marla vs. Capcom 2, which is a 2D fighter made by Capcom. Has all your favorite Marvel superheroes and all the Street Fighters from Street Fighter, and all the other Capcom characters. Let's see. Let's look at the characters. You got Cable from X-Men, Cyclops, Jill from Resident Evil, Captain America, Psylocke, Ruby Hart, T-Bone, not sure who those people are, Rogue, Amingo, something like that. Not to go through all of them, but Iceman is one of my favorites, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Guile, Hulk, Strider, Kiryu, Ryu, Venom, Zangief. So yeah, and you can unlock a lot more characters. So it's really fun. I'm not that good at the game, but I love the art style, and I love the premise of having, you know, Street Fighter characters fighting against X-Men characters. I just love that. So I do recommend it, especially if you like 2D fighters, if you're any good at them. I'm particularly not good at them. I prefer 3D fighters like Soul Calibur, but it's a whole different topic. Maybe I'll do a video on fighters. Maybe I won't. Not promising anything. Next up, Sonic Adventure. This is probably my favorite Dreamcast game I own. It's also one of the first I got for the Dreamcast. It's Sonic the Hedgehog in 3D, in a 3D world. Still have the action sequences where you go fast and you have to like hit the bumpers and get all the rings and stuff like that. But there's some exploring to do, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great game. It's kind of like Super Mario 64, but for Sonic. So I highly recommend it. Next is Sonic Adventure 2, which is basically the same thing. It introduces Shadow the Hedgehog, which is like Sonic's evil twin. Oh, one thing I forgot to say about Sonic Adventure 1 is that you can play as 6 different people. You got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, this big cat, I think his name is Big the Cat, some robot guy, and Amy, I think is her name, the girl. So that's cool, and each character has their own storyline, and they kind of interlock, and it's pretty cool. So, and then in this game, you can be as Sonic, Knuckles, or Tails, or play as Shadow, Rogue, or Dr. Robotnik, which is cool. But it's not as good as the first one, in my opinion. Some people like it better. I like the first one better, a lot better. I never actually beat this game, but I did beat Sonic Adventure 1. Next is Pod Speed Zone, which is just your average racing game. Nothing really special. It was fun back in the day. It's like a futuristic racing game. You gotta get power-ups to build up your energy, and you gotta drive fast, and learn the courses and all that good stuff. Next, Dynamite Cop, another arcade game. You pick one of 3 characters, and you have to go into this boat, this cruise ship, and you have to infiltrate it. And there's a variety of ways you can infiltrate it. There's different ways of entry. And it's a beat 'em up. You just fight enemies, and then there's quick time events. And it's pretty cool. It's not the greatest game ever made, but it's fun. And finally, Gigawing, which is a bullet hell shooter, vertical scrolling. And it's pretty fun. It's really hard, as most bullet hell shooters are, but I think I'm going to trade it in for Mars Matrix, which is another bullet hell shooter on the Dreamcast, also made by Capcom. And it seems that I get some better reviews, so I might trade it in for that one. I just want to own a bullet hell shooter, because for the systems I own, there's not really that many, and I don't want to go out and buy an arcade cabinet, because they're expensive and I don't have room. But I do like bullet hell shooters. I want to own at least one, so I figured I'd get Gigawing. And then I regretted getting it because I heard Mars Matrix is better. So I think I'm going to trade this in, get some cash, and then put that towards Mars Matrix. And before I close out, I also have I have the web browser, which came with the console, and it's so you can get online. So that's pretty cool. The Sega Net has been shut down for many years now, but it's cool to still have this. I also used to subscribe to the official Sega Dreamcast magazine, so I have 3 demo discs from the magazine. I used to have more, not sure what happened to them, but I just can't bring myself to throw them away. Got some playable demos, you got some videos, web browser 2.0 on this one, Phantasy Star Online video, Grandia 2 video. Yep, so that's about does it for my Sega Dreamcast video. I hope you guys liked it. Dreamcast is a cool system. I recommend it for arcade fans, Sega fans. If you're a Sega fan, you gotta have a Dreamcast, because it's probably their best console. I don't know, the Genesis was pretty cool, and a lot of people like the Master System, but it is revered as one of their best consoles, and one of the best consoles ever released of any company. It's personally not one of my favorites, but it would probably make my top 10. So yeah, that about does it. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below, and subscribe, friend. They don't do that on YouTube anymore. It's been so long since I made a video. It's been about 2 years, so I have to update my closing. So subscribe, leave comments, like, share, whatever else you can do. Hit me up if you want to talk games. I love talking about games. So with that, I will peace you out. Take care. Keep gaming. Enjoy yourselves. Alright, bye.